Hello everyone, the Panda Photographer is back, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on the Neewer F100 7-inch IPS film monitor. Now we're going to go through the menu settings, so this is a tutorial for the Neewer F100 7-inch IPS film monitor. So with that said everyone, please do hit the subscribe button, the notification button, share the content. You can follow me on social media on the links down in the descriptions below, and if you want to financially support this channel, there is a independent PayPal link down in the descriptions below, because this is a independent review. This video is not sponsored by Neewer or anyone that I mentioned in this video. You can purchase this monitor for $110 US on Amazon at this current time, and I purchased this with the donations of fellow photographers. But with that said, let's get into this particular monitor and its menu settings. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I am using a Sony a77 Mark II, so if you are using a Sony camera, you have the option to output your image to 4K. I put it in English for you so you can have a better understanding. It's going to go in 38 by 40 by 2140, and it's going to bring down the hertz down to 30, not 60, so it's not going to be as smooth as you can see it. It's jumpy. But if I was to exit out and restate the image in 1080p 60 frames a second, you can see that it is much smoother in the time lapse that I have taken last night using this film monitor. So I digress. But with that said everyone, let's get into the menu settings. And the first tab here, as you can see it, and let's bring down that just a bit so you guys can see that when I press the menu button, the first icon that you see is a little TV. The picture mode is on dynamic, the brightness is on 50, contrast is on 60, saturation is on 60, sharpness is on 20. Yeah, and all of these settings, color temperature, red and green, you can manually control by hitting the F key. And if you want to change the settings for this one, the arrow keys next to the mode button, left or right, which I'm going to go right. You can change it to standard if you like. You can change it to mild. You can change it to user, which you have full control. You can change it to dynamic, but let's do standard for now. You can also hit the F key again to go down to the color temperature. So the color temperature, you can change it all the way down to 9600 user. And the user base is basically you can control the reds and the greens. And let's do, and let's do 6500 as the temperature, and you can go down if you like. So in the next settings, let's go back here and let's go back to the menu. Now if you go back to the menu by pressing menu again to go into the wrench icons, we have English, you have aspect ratio on auto, you have no signal, which is blue, OSD trans is off, OSDH is on 50, OSDV is on 50. You can manually control all these settings as well. So in the menu, if I scroll down, you can go from Chinese, you can go for Spanish, you can go for, I believe this is Russian, I might be mistaken, but please correct me. This is French, this is Netherlands, this is Portuguese, Slovakian, which is I believe Danish, Romanian, Italian, not quite sure. It's quite the number of languages, but there's no Japanese involved in this one particular. But press the menu again, hit the right key to go to the the tool settings, and where you can see center market, safe frames, image freeze, image flipped, check field, PSP, which is off, focus assist is off, which I'm going to show you one quick button how that works. And if you scroll to the right again by pressing the right key, F1, F2, F3, F4 are your center markers, your safe frames, your check frames, your focus assist. So remember that F1 is center mark, F2 is safe frames, F3 is field check, and F4 is focus assist. So these are all the settings. Now there are a few modes on here as well. If I press the mode, I go into, let's get out of the menu first, HDMI. That's the first thing I'm in. You got AV, no signal right now, and then you got HDMI. It says no sync note, but it is going to catch it. Now my camera gives me the option to export this in 4K, but remember, when you do that, you also lose the hertz. So, but with that said, let me show you what F4 focus assist looks like. So focus assist is pretty much this red colorant that you see. Most of the time you find this on a lot of Sony cameras, a lot of Fuji cameras, or mirrorless cameras entirely. But you can see that my image is entirely in focus, because at this image I had it at f5.6, and you can see how it works. Now F3 is check field, and which I'm not sure am I going to, it's off right now. And safe frames is basically the view of your monitor. So if you want it at 93%, if you want it at 90%, if you want it at 86%, if you want it at 80%, but if you want it at 2.35 ratio, you can do that, and it is off. And center mark is a crosshair in the center. So if I was to disable that, sorry, and you can see there's a crosshair right there, and it is now off. So this is pretty much the menu layout and tutorial on how to understand what you're looking for in a film monitor. Keep in mind that this film monitor is very sharp, very bright, but very glossy screen. And if you are going to purchase this, please note there are several different models of this particular IPS monitor. There's a NW756 for Neewer, which has tons of other settings and more features. But with that said, thank you for watching, everyone. This has been ThePandaPhotographer from 616studios.com. If you like this quick menu layout tutorial, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to financially support this channel, please, there's a PayPal link down in the description below. But let me quickly show you the time lapse from last night. I do have the monitor hood on because this, as I said, this is a very glossy screen. But with that said, everyone, eat, sleep, photography, videography, and repeat. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care, happy shooting, and hopefully this purchase of the Neewer F100 might be suited for you.